Okay, so now that we have the control set up, what we need to do is we need to add in the logic to make sure that this does indeed work here. Now, when we deal with physics, physics is a little bit hard to deal with in SpriteKit. It's not as doesn't make as much sense as you might think here. So what we're going to do is we're going to say function here, and we're going to say did begin contact. But before we even do that, notice how if I go did begin contact, nothing shows up, and there's a reason for that. We need to go up all the way to the top here, and we need to go and say this is SK physics contact delegate. You need to put that in the game scene, and we need to go and up in here, and we need to say physics world dot, and we're going to say physics dot contact delegate is equal to self. Okay, and what that you need to do that in order to make everything work. Okay, so let's go and let's hop back to the bottom here, and now what you'll see is we'll say did begin contact. All right, so this is where life gets a little bit complicated. So the way it works is that, remember that struct we added in earlier? Well, the way that it works is imagine if you have a ball colliding against a wall. The wall would be 1 and the ball would be 2, would be assigned that UI integer value. And that UI integer value is, into the computer's eyes, it's 1 colliding with 2 or 2 colliding with 1. That's essentially what it means here. It means that to the computer's eyes, two numbers are colliding. Okay, and this is all set up in the back end within SpriteKit here. So let's add in a var. We'll call this first body is equal to contact dot body A, and then var second body is equal to contact dot body B. Okay, there we go. And we're going to say if. Okay, and this is where life gets a little bit complicated, but we'll make this work. Okay, so I'm going to set up this if statement here, add in the brackets as you see here, and we're going to say if first body dot category bit mask is equal to, and it has to be double equal to, physics category, and then we're going to start off with a player here. Okay, we're going to add the and bracket second body dot category bit mask is double equal to, and this is going to be equal to mine. All right, so there we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to literally copy everything but the first item, first bracket here, add in the or, and paste it in here. All we're going to do now is we're going to change mine with player here, and this actually has to be physics category dot mine, and then this one here has to be physics category dot player. So what this is saying here is that either the mine is colliding with the player or the player is colliding with the mine. You do need to do that because you need to check for both, because sometimes it's one and sometimes it's the other. And what this is saying is that if either one of these is the one, then what we need to do is it will go and add in our next logic here. What we need is another function here, and this is going to be called player mine contact, and we're going to add in, we're going to call that contact A, and okay, see this is SK sprite node, and then comma contact B is equal to, or colon SK sprite node. Okay, so what this is that we are going to pass in the two contacts here. So within this, we're going to say and add in here, we're going to go, it's going to be player mine contact. The contact is going to be first body dot node as SK sprite node. Contact B is going to be second body dot node as SK sprite node. Okay, that's all it really is. Save it here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this if statement, paste it in here. What we're going to do now is we're going to change mine with goal, and mine with goal here. So what this is doing is instead of the player is colliding with the goal now, or the goal is colliding with the player. But what we need is another function, and I'll just literally copy and paste this function here, and we're going to call this player goal contact, right? And for whatever reason, you have to type this out again. I've actually spent probably a good 45 minutes debugging before I made this app to show it to you. I would just copy and paste the goal and it didn't work. So you literally need to type this out again. I'm not sure why, but in this case, let's just go ahead and type it out. It's not too much work. First body.node as SKSpriteNode, and it's going to be second body.node as SKSpriteNode. Okay, and there we go. And that is how we add in here. Okay, so the couple things here is we're going to add another function here called game over logic, and we will call game over logic when we collide with the mine. So it's kind of a one life deal, game over logic. Pretty simple stuff. And we're also going to add in a function called reset the game. Now these functions don't really do anything right now, but that doesn't mean we can't add the functionality later. So we're going to go reset the game here. All right, and that's pretty much it. This concludes the tutorial.